I've always opined on this channel that Mikel Arteta has lost the league twice when he had the chances to win. There is no coach that I believe can do that, and in this era, go to that level, finish second, remain 2-3 matches, then you mess up. I don't think there's any coach who can allow that, who is coaching a big club like Arsenal. And therefore, I told myself that there's some things that really affected Mikel Arteta's game that made him to be beaten in some simple matches that he could have won in all ways. Now, when I look at this closely, there are same mistakes that Mikel Arteta is doing currently, and I feel that that's going to be a big mistake. In all those occasions that Arsenal lost, we needed a very simple person to motivate the team, a hard working striker, a hard working striker, a striker who can motivate the team to take the ball forward, a person who can scare the opponents. But Mikel Arteta overthought and went and concentrated on Havertz. Now he brought Havertz this first season. Now we've had Havertz again has finished this season, and it still depends on Havertz to take the team forward. Whether Arteta likes it or not, there is nothing he's going to achieve significant in this season here, because you can see how Liverpool is moving, unless he's going to change his way of thinking. I'm going to take you through that topic here today, but before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Now let me tell you this: when you look at closely, someone like Havertz, he can score a goal, but he's not a motivational striker. It's not somebody that if the team is down, he keeps on fighting. Havertz cannot. If Saka is maybe not able to perform that much, strikers are not doing well, midfielders are not doing well, and the ball is forward, Havertz and equally do nothing. He cannot fight for the team. And in the striking force, you need somebody who fights for the team, scores goals. And we need a striker who can even hit 20 goals in a season, because the kind of competition that you have in England is very stiff. So therefore, you need to have a striker of that kind to be able to motivate even defenders to pass the ball forward. But the moment you give defenders and then they see a ball being touched in front there, then it comes back. In just a simple layman language, I feel strongly that even the defenders are going to be discouraged. So therefore, we need Arteta to stop overthinking. Overthinking is the one major problem Arteta has. There are these things that if you look at the game, like for instance, when Spain, the national team is playing, if you look at Real Madrid, the one that won the league before, their major objective is to ensure the ball is forward and it's put behind the net. But now what happens in Arsenal? You want to see an invited left back being this and that, reaching in front there, passing things here and there, and then eventually they lose the ball and come back. Therefore, you find that they don't have that liberty to make shots, to threaten the opponent, and at least score goals. This is a big challenge that Arteta is going to experience in his entire career, because Arsenal has given him a golden opportunity to showcase his ability. But every time he's given that opportunity, he comes out and tells us that they're working for the next plan. It's very sad. Now, another thing is this: as we speak today, Arsenal midfield is not well fixed. Why am I saying so? Progressively, we used to have passes going very well, particularly when we used to have Shaq. What is the difference? What has changed right now? The Arsenal game is not the same game that we used to have during that time. Let me tell you this: we used to have Shaka Granit, who could be able to link very well with some players like Martinelli as they move forward. But now Declan Rice came in, and then Arteta tried to use him in the same position Shaka used to play. Now let me tell you one of the biggest challenges that Arteta has done in that kind. One of the biggest mistakes he has done. Rice is a natural defender, and now who advanced to be a natural defensive midfielder. Okay, a natural defender who advanced to become a defensive midfielder. And then Rice himself had the idea that he can progress going forward, but he's not good in passing, he's not good in scoring. So that makes him not a better replacement for Xhaka. That means Merino comes in as number 8, who can progress forward, despite that he's not a good scorer, who can progress forward and make good passes, particularly because of his calmness going forward. But now look at this: you have Partey, you have Merino and Mikel, and you have the DM, that is Declan Rice. How do you play these people? I see Merino being put in the bench. Fine. Now when you put Merino in the bench, that means Odegaard is inside and he has to come pick the ball and act as box to box. And that's how we can play. Because the creativity of Odegaard is good, yes, but you have to admit that driving the ball forward, it needs a striker who is very calculative on the moves that you make, particularly in passing. Now we have someone like Partey. Thomas Partey is so good in making passes, but nowadays we see him limited to the defensive midfield. And now they allow Declan Rice to move forward. When Declan Rice moves forward, it's going to weaken the striking team. That one you have to admit. Declan Rice is going to weaken the striking force because we realize that he's not good in passing and he's not good in scoring. So therefore, you realize that there's a deficit in front. So you realize that our strikers are not getting enough food or enough ball as it's supposed to happen. So therefore, this is a big challenge that if Arteta is not going to take care of, it's going to affect him. He has to stop overthinking, take players the way they are, and make use of them very well. Now, there's another player that I want to talk about here today. That is the gentleman called Ethan Nwaneri. Ethan Nwaneri is a very good player. One thing I like about this guy is that he's always having a mentality to score, and that is what is lacking Arsenal. A player who can get the ball from anywhere and hit a shot and get us a goal. That is not a quality of Odegaard. That's not the quality of anybody. Saka in, because most of these players that we have in Arsenal, people know their pattern. Saka moves this way, places the ball on the left foot. That's it. Odegaard the same. That is it. Partey the same. That is it. So Martinelli, even people know how he will score next. At least Trossard is a bit creative. So when we go to Ethan Nwaneri is doing well in such a way that if Arteta gives him more power, because we have seen players like Jamil from Barcelona. He's doing very well and he's very young. The same age with, of course, Nwaneri that we have in Arsenal. So if you have this player given the chance to go and play forward, 90 minutes starting the game, we see his creativity, we see his form of playing. Probably Arsenal is going to do well, and even the academy players are going to work very hard. I think it's high time we have that gentleman be given 90 minutes to play. I am not bad. I won't feel bad if we see him Trossard, Partey, and maybe have Nwaneri there and Odegaard. I have no problem with that because Odegaard can play defensive as well. It's not a bad player. But still, I want to say that not just even let us at least try and have Nwaneri starting a match in the EPL because Nwaneri has the ability that we need in Arsenal because this player can be able to score for us. I don't know what's your take as far as this player is concerned. Please let me see in the comment section. At least you could be able to learn about that. Now, let me finish up by saying this. Arteta must now generally ensure that he has fixed our defense. There is this tendency of him signing players that are injury prone. Look at the time he signed Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira came into Arsenal while on an injury. A very wrong thing. He stayed outside for long and actually eventually not even incorporate him in the team as we expected because he is a very creative player. What he's doing on the other side, I loved it. But now, he eventually loaned him. But I wanted a scenario where we have such creative players being given a chance. But look at this. Now, as we speak today, these players that you have in Arsenal, we have to admit that we need them to be fixed. Because when you realize that we have Ben White is injured, Ben White is a very reliable player. But if he gets injured, that is very wrong. Now, who is going to play in these positions? Because as we know, we are not able to, we are yet to see that Tomiyasu is good to come back and play. So the backup that we expected from him, it is yet to come out. And we know very well that Timber, he had been on a long injury, despite being the good quality that he is. He cannot really consistently play 90 minutes because they need to take care of him well. Because if he gets injured, we are again going back to Zinchenko. And that is a very wrong thing. So therefore, I want to state it here very categorically that Arteta must be a good signing coach, must ensure that our scouting do the right job. Because the moment Arsenal signs players that are injury prone, you are going to be you rather be in the bench, but you are not injury prone. Because if you're in the bench and you're injury prone, that means you're wasting. We are not to be able to rely on you. There's a time we used to have even Partey the same way. Partey this time around he has tried, but Partey cannot go past December, or even he's not going to go far before he gets an injury. He needs to be relieved a bit. That's why we are saying let's have other chances like now having Trossard, Declan Rice and Merino play in that midfield, so that at least we can have Partey relaxing because Partey right now is in a good quality, and if I realize that Partey is going to be injured and going forward, probably it will affect the Arsenal defense midfield immensely. Another thing I want to talk about is the cards. Issue of cards has become very common in Arsenal, getting red cards, yellow cards. I think those childish things must stop at Arsenal so that at least we can proceed as a team. That's my video there and there. Let me see on the comment section what you guys are saying. Please make sure that you subscribe, like and comment because that is the best support you can just give this channel.